Hello, good people. Welcome to Raw Vegan Rising. My name is Shane Sterling. How are you guys doing today? This video is the basics of raw proteins, carbs, and fats. This is a great topic, and we have a lot of very valuable information to cover in this video. Before we get started, I'd like to give you some of my credentials. I have been vegan for 17 years consecutively. I've been 100% raw vegan for 4 years. I have been coaching people with transitioning to a raw vegan diet, detoxing, and juice fasting for about 4 years, since 2017. I am 6'2", about 180 pounds, pretty lean. I work out consistently at the gym. I take my fitness seriously, and I absolutely love raw proteins, carbs, and fats. So the big difference here is cooked proteins, carbs, and fats versus raw proteins, carbs, and fats. Well, if we eat the raw proteins, carbs, and fats, we're still getting the same macronutrients, but we're not destroying some key components in the food like enzymes, like the hormones, the natural oxygen and gases, the natural phytochemicals, the biophotons in the food. These are critical components to the life force of how our body is supposed to utilize these foods. If we cook our proteins, carbs, and fats, the food is essentially dead. It's denatured. Mother Nature never intended for humans to eat denatured food. There are consequences. For one, it is very hard on the digestion. It creates waste and biofilms in the GI tract, and it creates an imbalance of gut bacteria, which in turn create more waste and more biofilms. And it's a nasty cycle which creates acidosis, slow digestion, backing up of waste, poor elimination, backed up lymphatic system, which leads to illness, health problems, degenerative conditions, and can lead to chronic illness, So really, when we eat the undenatured food, we're giving our body everything it needs, including one of the most important factors, which is fast elimination. The body knows exactly what to do with the raw proteins, carbs, and fats. Also, before we even talk about the basics of raw proteins, carbs, and fats, we have to talk about cleansing out the gut so that we can absorb and utilize raw proteins, carbs, and fats. We're not even going to utilize the food if we have biofilms and waste backed up in the GI tract. So I think that's what's going on with most Americans today when we see this obesity epidemic. We're eating lots of food, but getting less nutrition from our food. That's because we have so much waste in the GI tract. So we have to cleanse the GI tract thoroughly in order to ensure we're going to have proper digestion, absorption, and utilization of our food. Then if we eat raw proteins, carbs, and fats only, like a raw vegan diet, like I have been doing for the last 4 years, we can utilize the food better. So we get more from the protein, we get more from the carbs, more from the fats. We don't need to denature the food if we've got a clean gut. I recommend the fastest way to clean the gut is to do a juice fast, one time only. Now hear me out. Juice fasting is not a diet or a lifestyle. Juice fasting is a temporary intervention protocol to clean the gut out one time so that we can transition to a healthier diet and lifestyle like a raw vegan diet and get the most out of our food. I do not recommend juice fasting ongoing. It has consequences. It's hard on the body. It requires a lot of rebuilding. But if you are dedicated to enjoying the benefits of raw proteins, carbs, and fats, cleaning out the gut one time with a juice fast, going all the way, going the distance to clean out the food tube completely, can be one very effective intervention protocol. So I have, over the years of coaching people, invented a very effective protocol for detoxing the bowels. This is what I have done myself and what I help my clients with day in and day out to see the effectiveness of releasing waste and biofilm out of the GI tract. This is exactly the recipes, the quantity, the style of juices, the juicer to use, how to use husk and clay. It's my protocol, and it is free to download in the description below. I highly recommend you open up the description box and go find the link called How to Do a Juice Fast why you need to do one, a complete guide, a detailed guide on bowel detoxification. Okay, free to download. It's in PDF form. Highly recommend that we start there before we even talk about proteins, carbs, and fats being raw, okay? All right, so let's jump in here to some of the nitty-gritty information on how raw proteins, carbs, and fats work for us and how it can be an incredible advantage in our life. Let's start with number one here, raw protein, okay? Everybody loves protein. Everybody thinks we need to have these high protein diets, but protein is simply just amino acids, okay? And all food has amino acids. There are essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. All the essential amino acids, which means we have to get them from our food, and there's 9 of them, all come from plants. All the 9 essential amino acids come from plants, raw plants. Okay, and the non-essential amino acids, our body produces them. Okay, so we can get every single protein we need from a plant-based diet, hands down. Hence why I have a good physique, because I can build muscle on a raw vegan diet. Okay, low protein diets are also essential for anti-aging, energy, and health. So when we eat a plant-based diet, we are going to naturally have less protein because we're not bombarding our body with high complex proteins like meat and dairy products, especially cooked meat and dairy products, which are very, very burdensome on the body, burdensome on the lymphatic system, burdensome on the kidneys. So good sources of raw protein, okay, raw protein are nuts and seeds primarily. My favorite are hemp, flax, and chia seeds, also pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. And let's not forget greens. We're talking green leafy vegetables. We're talking salad here. Okay, all the amazing greens. We can juice greens. We can eat greens. We can get protein from juicing kale and spinach and chard and collards. Okay, also sprouts. We can sprout certain legumes like lentils particularly and have raw protein from lentils. One of my favorite sources, but also all the sprouts. Any sprout is going to be high in protein. This is incredibly high quality protein, which allows us to be at a very high level of health. Not a burdened level of health where we're eating lots of protein, but we're actually experiencing health problems, inflammation, premature aging, balding, wrinkles. I mean, you know, a lot of people do these bodybuilding style diets where they're told they have to eat a lot of protein. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is what medical science says works best for building muscle. But if you're taking in that much protein, like for me, that'd be 180 grams of protein per day, I would be sick if I ate that much protein. I don't eat that much protein at all. And so having a good physique is about longevity and health, not about having a big muscular physique that burns us out quick. If we eat a lot of protein, we're going to only be able to last for a couple of years of, a stretch of our youth when we have a lot of natural vitality and energy. And then by the time we're in our 30s or 40s, we crash and we're going to not even be able to maintain that. We're not going to look good and we're going to age prematurely. It's going to take away our vitality to eat high protein. I am 48 years old and I eat a low to moderately low protein diet. And I still get to build muscle, have a great physique, have tons of energy, reverse aging, have incredible health overall that's sustainable for my entire lifetime. It comes from raw protein. And we can't even get to raw protein until we make sure that our gut is cleaned out and we are absorbing and utilizing the raw proteins. Okay, so we can't even begin until our gut is cleaned out. Let's talk about raw carbs. Number 2 on my list, raw carbs. Okay, let's talk about simple carbs versus complex carbs. Simple carbs are easy for the body to digest. Instantly available energy, which replenishes our muscles after exercise and expenditure of energy so we can replenish and recover and recuperate really easy from simple carbs. Complex carbs, however, are starches. Starches are slow to digest, burdensome on the body, and really don't allow the body to have fast bowel transit time. If it takes a long time for a food to digest, like complex carbs, complex starches, that's not going to give our body the energy it needs, because the body has to divert energy for the digestion of these complex carbs. So simple carbs are the best for energy, health, and vitality, and bowel transit time and utilization. Where starches are for slow digestion, slow utilization, slow bowel transit time, all taking away from our health. Also, starches can cause spikes in blood sugar, okay? And they are so slow to digest that it just creates more burden and waste in the body. And one of the main keys to health that we have to realize is fast bowel transit time, fast digestion. If we have fast digestion, we are going to be operating at peak optimal performance and peak optimal health. It's not about running food that takes 3, 4, 5, 6 days to digest. You know, we want food that is in and out in less than 12 hours or less than 24 hours for sure. Okay, so Dr. Sebi has talked about starches, and I wanted to read this quote that he says: "Starch is not a food. Starch is a chemical. Anything that God made has no starch." And if we think about it, all the foods that are naturally raw carbohydrates in nature do not have starch. Starch is the process of hybridizing and engineering foods over thousands and thousands of years. So good sources of raw carbs in the diet are fruits, berries, melons, non-sweet fruits like tomatoes and avocados and cucumbers, and of course, all the vegetables. So all raw fruits and vegetables are an amazing source of raw carbohydrates. And we really want to avoid the complex starches like corn, potatoes, beans, rice, soy. All of that stuff is going to create an allergic response, a digestive burden in the body, inflammation. It's just not correct for long-term health and success as a raw vegan. Okay, let's talk about number 3, raw fats. Okay, we often hear the words healthy fats, which is completely misunderstood. Healthy fats, in my definition, is unoxidized fats from whole food sources only. Whole food vegan sources only. Okay, that's my idea of healthy fats. When we adopt a raw food diet, the best choices of healthy fats are avocados, nuts, seeds, raw olives. Okay, secondary fats, we might go for coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, other natural nut and seed oils, cold pressed at low temperatures to prevent oxidation and free radical damage. But refined oils as a healthy fat source are refined and processed, and they are high in calorie, but low in nutrients. Okay, we really want the whole food fat sources. If we eat nuts and seeds and avocados for our fats, we get all of the vitamins and minerals in the whole food, plus the fiber, and our body knows how to utilize and digest those foods at an optimal level. We also have to realize that heating an oil or a fat changes the chemical composition, producing toxicity. It makes toxic fumes, it releases harmful free radicals, and it actually creates harmful carcinogens. So oxidized heated fats are one of the keys to free radical damage in the body and premature aging and slow digestion and poor health overall. So when people say healthy fats but are talking about cooked fats or heated fats, absolutely not. We should never consume heated fats under any circumstance. And we really should avoid raw animal products as well, because raw animal products are, again, inflammatory to the body, unnecessarily high protein, and a foreign protein, which creates an allergic response in the body. So it's ultimately not healthy at all. Number 4 on my list I wanted to talk about macronutrient ratios. Okay, we hear the terms 80-10-10, right? Which is a high carb, low fat, low protein diet, which has its place. It's great for detoxifying the body and cleansing. If we are coming to a raw vegan diet because we have a health issue, and most people do, okay, we either come to a raw vegan diet out of desperation or inspiration. And if we're coming to a raw vegan diet out of desperation, we can use the 80-10-10 macronutrient ratio to help our body detox and to help it cleanse. But in my experience, if we are going to be strong and maintain a raw vegan diet, long term, we need higher amounts of fats and higher amounts of protein in the diet. Okay, so I personally follow a 60-20-20. 20% fats, 20% proteins, and 60% carbohydrates. This is good for muscle. This is good for maintenance. This is good for overall well-being and health, making sure we're getting enough omega-3s. Because on a plant-based diet, if we're 100% raw, we have to make sure we are getting the right amount of omega-3s. It's especially important. Vegans in general can be low and deficient in omega-3s because we are not utilizing and converting the plant-based fats to omega-3s properly. I have a pro tip here for you on macronutrient ratios, which I think is a game changer. Okay, this is a pro tip. When we track our macros, pick one macronutrient. Okay, proteins, carbs, or fats. Just pick one and focus on hitting your target goal for that macronutrient only and forget the rest. Let the rest fall into place. I particularly focus on protein because I work out and I like to have a good muscle mass on my body as a raw vegan. So if I'm shooting for 20% protein in my diet, I focus on hitting 20% of my calories from protein and I let the fats and the carbs fall where they may. Sometimes I will switch and I'll focus on fats. I'll go for 20 or 25% of my diet from fats, my calories from fats, and I will only focus on fats. I will only focus on hitting that macronutrient ratio, and I will let the proteins and the carbs fall where they may. So that is a pro tip I personally recommend. If you want to be strong, if you want to have a good physique, if you want to work out as a raw vegan and have muscle mass, focus on 15 to 20% of your calories from protein, and you have to track that for a while and let the fats and carbs fall where they may, and work out at the gym consistently. Do hypertrophy strength training, which is the 8 to 10 rep range. Break your muscle fiber down in the gym and rebuild it with healthy, natural, whole, raw proteins, carbs, and fats. And again, we are not going to get the absorption and utilization of the raw proteins, carbs, and fats unless we have cleansed our bowels. So again, it comes down to bowel detoxification. I have a group coaching program to help people with bowel detoxification. Not only can you download my free protocol in the description below, but you can join my community, Raw Vegan Heroes, which is my group coaching program, which is perhaps the best juice fasting support in the world. There's currently 270 members in the group and growing fast because Raw Vegan Heroes is like a movement of empowered, inspired raw vegans from around the world. And it really is an international community. It is a very high caliber, high quality group of people. You have to experience it to believe it. The Raw Vegan Heroes is absolutely amazing. If you join Raw Vegan Heroes, you will get juice fasting support to make the most out of your juice fast. Now, if you're going to cleanse the bowels and detox out all the biofilms and waste in order to transition to a better diet and lifestyle and be a raw vegan and be an inspiring person eating raw proteins, carbs, and fats, you have to do the bowel detox part right. And to get the most out of it, you need to be around a community that can help you. Raw Vegan Heroes is a month-to-month. There's no contract. It's $14.99 per month to be part of it. If you juice fast for 30 days or 60 days, it's only going to cost you $14.99 or maybe $30 maximum. And that is to ensure you have the accountability, support, and everything you need to make sure you're doing it right and to get the most out of it. The other thing is when we are detoxing with juice fasting, we will have a lot of questions. We will come up against some of our phantoms, some of our demons, And it's very easy to self-sabotage. It's very easy to allow the ego to talk us down from what we need most and to self-isolate. When we're feeling vulnerable, when we're in detox mode, we are going to self-isolate. If we don't, make sure we have accountability around us. So it's very, very important that we join a group like Raw Vegan Heroes for the process of detoxification so we're not alone. I highly recommend you join Raw Vegan Heroes, detox your bowels with a temporary short juice fast, do it right, get the guidance, and then transition your body to a raw vegan diet so you can utilize and absorb and digest properly the raw proteins, carbs, and fats, which are going to give you exceptional energy, exceptional health, reverse aging, and allow you to be the person you've always wanted to be. And a side benefit that most people don't even know and most people don't even talk about is that a raw vegan diet will also lead you down a path of personal empowerment and fulfillment and possibly purpose and legacy work. Because as we clear out the cobwebs from our consciousness, as we face our fears and we really expand into the person we're supposed to be, we start getting ideas about how we can make a difference in the world, what our mission is, why we even came here to planet Earth, and how we can really serve others. That's what all humans are after, whether we realize it or not. We are after service. We need to be in service to others to have fulfillment for ourselves. If you struggle with purpose and meaning and fulfillment in your life, you need to be raw vegan. You need to start with a juice fast, cleanse your gut out, get on the raw foods, and become the valuable, incredible person that you are designed to be. Mother Nature and God, whatever you want to call it, provides us with raw, undenatured food. We just have to prepare our body to be able to utilize it. Okay, so this is my message, and I am living proof that the raw vegan diet absolutely works. It's the best thing we can possibly do. I hope this video was helpful. Raw proteins, carbs, and fats, the most incredible food that we could possibly put in our body. Loving this incredible temple of ours to be of the highest level of service. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for being on this video. I hope it was helpful. I will see you guys in the next one. Much love and blessings to you. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. See you in the next one.